I've been thinking about ways in which I can not make this video sound like a big rant, and I'm still thinking. YouTube is an absolutely fantastic resource for photographers. There you go, I've started off on a positive. But with more and more photographers eager for your likes and subscriptions, and veterans that have been on the platform for years struggling to come up with new and innovative ideas to pique your interest, it's becoming a lot more difficult to trust what you watch. So in this short but hopefully informative video, I'm going to share with you 4 things that I've seen crop up on YouTube that I think is bad advice and help you not to follow it. First of all, titles like "This camera will make you a better photographer." In 3 words, no it won't. As we all go in search for the best gear possible for us, videos like this can be really tempting to click on. But they're often produced by people that have something to sell. I'll never forget when I was studying down in London, I went to an exhibition of various different things that people had made cameras from, and the one that sticks out in my mind is a peanut husk. Now imagine that I've got lots of these peanut husk cameras to sell. I go onto YouTube and say, this camera is the best camera that you will ever buy. It will make you a better photographer. And suddenly there's a rush to go and buy lots of peanuts and turn them into pinhole cameras. Now I bet you're starting to think that this whole concept is sounding a little bit ridiculous, and you'd be right. But it's videos that have titles like this that are following this concept every single time they're released. The reason that they're producing this video is because they've got a camera that they've been sponsored by and they want to sell, and the reason that you're watching it is because, like every other photographer out there, you've got a serious case of gas. Excuse me. So next time you're watching a video about the latest Sony A7R Boeing 777-379ZR2 VR10 from Gate 12, then bear in mind, I wish I had a peanut. The simple answer is that there isn't a camera out there that's going to make you a better photographer. The way that you're going to be a better photographer is being more observant, getting out there, trying out different things, and basically taking photographs. It doesn't really matter what camera you use. Our second piece of bad advice is this focal length is better than this focal length. Much to my amazement, a video popped up on my feed the other day arguing whether 35mm was better than 28mm. The simple answer is it depends on what you're photographing. Now with that little bit of advice, I've saved you 15 minutes of your life that you're never going to get back. The problem with a lot of photographers is that they think that once something is working for them, it's going to work for everybody else. But that obviously isn't the case. So find a focal length that fits what you're photographing and photograph it with that. The third bad habit I've picked up is from titles like, if you're editing your photos, you're cheating. To quote a familiar phrase, no you're not. Although we all have our own red lines of how far we push our photographs when post-producing them, editing has always been a part of photography, and probably always will be, even if it's just clicking a button and letting AI sort things out for us. Although he was a film photographer, Ansel Adams, often said to be the godfather of modern photography, would often completely manipulate the original negative into a final print, obviously completely cheating at photography and not doing a very good job at all. I guarantee that every photographer that you admire and hold dear will do something to their photographs that changes them from what the camera originally produced. Whether you see that as lying or cheating or creative license, it's entirely up to you, but that's the world of photography and we've just got to get used to it. Our fourth bad habit, bad advice, don't know what we're calling it now, it's too late in the video to change anything, is film photography is proper photography, digital photography is the devil incarnate. Film photographers, before you take your bat home, hear me out. I like film photography. I follow a lot of film photographers on YouTube. I really admire the skills involved and I really admire the results that it produces. I also like digital photography. I follow a lot of digital photographers on YouTube. I really admire the skills involved and I really admire the results that it produces. Is it just me, or is there an echo in here? I don't know why it seems to be okay to think that if you're a film photographer, digital photography is a bad thing. And if you're a digital photographer, then film photographers are these people to be scared of. And don't get me started on those reprobates that think they can take photographs using a mobile telephone. The other day I was imagining this amazing world where there was this fantastic thing that everybody just called photography. But then I woke up and realised that I was in the real world, where we have to put a prefix in front of this word, like phone, digital or film. I don't understand why we've got to a point where photography has to be so tribal. Long gone are the days when we were fearing that digital photography was going to engulf film photography and destroy it like an angry teenager. Because of course that mantle has now passed to AI instead. Feel free to call me a nutjob in the comments, but I feel that photography is all-encompassing. It doesn't really matter how we approach it, as long as the approach that we choose works for us. So apologies if my digital camera, my film camera and my telephone hold equal precedence in my kit bag, ready to take them out and take photographs of whatever I point them at, and use whichever medium I feel is fit in any given situation. Let's face it, when we go onto YouTube, we're always looking for good, honest advice. But how do we know that the advice that we're getting is truthful and relevant to us? My advice would be to look at the photography you're watching on a platform outside YouTube. Have a look at their portfolio. Are their photographs matching up to what they're talking about? Are they practicing what they preach? Because there's no right or wrong way to approach photography, I think all good advice should offer people a choice. So instead of looking for quick fixes all the time, look for ways in which you can improve by working things out for yourself. Yes, get information and advice from lots of different photographers, but only put into practice the advice that works for you. If you've enjoyed this video and got something out of it, consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. But of course, at the end of the day, it's your choice. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.